This is the Lexavon torque wrench versus the Yagi torque wrench set, and I'm going to do a comparison review. Right off the bat, I'll tell you this is my pick for what's going to stay in my garage, and I'm probably going to sell this one. That's not to say why it's bad. They're for two different situations, but I'll just go over the differences as we have them both here. Both have certificate of calibration and serial numbers, so you can calibrate each independently. I mean, I've used an old metal mechanical torque wrench, the one that is kind of bendy, and I've never had issue with my wheels. But if you're doing things that are as precise as spark plugs or smaller bolts, the IE comes out on top because it's got these three different sizes and for different reaches, and it's also got included extensions. Both have nice construction and both have plastic cases, but this one comes out on top because of the, seems simple, but it's the plastic clip versus the metal clip. So you have that, and it has a handle so you can kind of carry it around. That one comes out on top, but it's also, for me, the construction aesthetic. The Lexavon has the traditional, if you've seen these before, the ones are typical where you adjust on the bottom and adjust the torque. I currently have it at 80 pound-feet after testing it on my car for the factory wheel torque specifications. But the Yagi, if I'm comparing apples to apples, they're relatively the same size, and you can see the different heads of the Lexavon versus the Yagi for the same size. So these are the ones you would use to torque your wheels at the proper torque. You can see the head is slightly bigger on the Lexavon, and the Yagi both have the reversible torque adjustment. And it's the finish that's different. This one has a matte metal gold plastic look, and it's kind of worn pretty well. I tend to keep my tools in good condition and I have no scratches, but you can see some discoloration. I'm sure this is just an anodized type paint, but I prefer it over this coated metal on the Lexavon. You can see that there under the light. And I prefer the adjustment on the left, on the Yagi. Both have these kind of knurled metal grips, but the way you adjust the Yagi is like pull down to release and adjust. And if you look at the torque figures here on the Yagi, you've got tighter control of the exact torque amount because you've got all these adjustments with the numbers on the bottom, whereas the one on the Lexavon, it's not a big difference. You have the Newton meters and the foot pounds on the other side. But my preference, again, is this one here. But they work just the same. I'll show you a demonstration of both under work. So I'm going to take the extension. This is another difference. To install a socket on, you have to press the release, so that won't come off. I've never really had issue on either one though. It's an extra step for yourself. So you just have to press this on, and then you can torque your wheels. This one's 80 pound-feet, 19 millimeter. So if you do a lot of wheel changes and you want to double check your torque, these are great to have. Now, if all you're doing is wheel torques, then this one has no problem. Although it doesn't come with the extension, so you'll have to buy that separately. And the one that comes from Yagi is kind of this matte metal with a knurled end. So it's pretty high quality, nice quality, chromium vanadium. I think that means it's good. You tell me. I've never had any issue with it, but you can see it works just like that. Typical torque wrench. So if you enjoy these kind of black finishes with yellow writing and yellow highlights, I mean, it's nice and it differentiates from other torque wrenches that are, you know, traditional chrome. It's got the serial number here for the certificate of authentication and calibration. So in the end, it comes down to aesthetic if you're just looking at wheel torques. But because the Yagi set is here, comes with multiple different sizes. These are probably likely for suspension parts, and these ones go down to, this one only goes up to, here we go. Or it measures in, this one measures in inches. Let me zoom in for you so you can see better. Pound foot per inch. So these ones are for tiny torque figures. I would use this for my spark plugs or smaller, very sensitive torque figures, and the quality is just the same as the bigger one. And then the one in the middle, probably for suspension components or other figures, that goes up to 47.5 pound-feet or 50 pound-feet. So they all have that nice finish, that gold, matte, metallic finish, all the same function. And it comes with extensions for all three sizes, certificate of authentication, and the instructions. So to summarize, if you're just going to do wheels and you prefer the look of this kind of shiny coated metal with the yellow highlights and the case with no handle, this will do just fine. But even if you're doing just that, it's just nice to have this entire set. So for me, this one wins the comparison review. I hope that answers a lot of your questions. I do these kind of reviews all the time. If you like these type of reviews, please consider following my channel. Thank you for your time.